Akron is the smallest team not just in the tournament, but in the entire country, and their small ball lineups love to fly around the floor and shoot threes. Alabama played the 14th fastest ball in the country a season ago en route to a Final Four appearance, and has only gotten faster this year, leading the nation in tempo. Alabama State finished the season top 5 nationally and not turning the ball over. American ranked bottom 15 in tempo this season and smothered Patriot League foes with their suffocating defense. Arizona has one of the most NBA-ready teams in the nation, with all 4 of Carter Bryant, KJ Lewis, Motijas Krivas, and Caleb Love appearing on various draft boards. Arkansas is one of the best rim-protecting teams in the country, ranking 4th nationally in blocks per game. Auburn currently has the highest-rated offense in KenPom history and has absolutely dominated their way through a historically great SEC. Baylor is brimming with talent, with potential top 5 pick VJ Edgecombe helping lead the way with 15 points per game. Bryant loves to get out and run with a top 10 tempo, and this is made possible with their 6th in the nation rebounding rate. BYU has one of the most efficient offenses in the country, ranking 7th in effective field goal percentage, 6th in 2-point percentage, and 8th in 3-pointers made per game. Fresh off an Elite 8 appearance last season, Clemson returns one of the most experienced teams in the field, with all 4 of their leading scorers being seniors. 62.8% of Colorado State's field goals are assisted, good for 8th in the country. Ryan Kalkbrenner is one of the best big men in the country, helping Creighton lead the nation in 2-point percentage with a blistering individual 66% mark. First-year head coach Ben McCollum brought his Division II stars with him from Northwest Missouri State en route to a dominant 30-4 season. Duke enters the tournament number 1 overall in KenPom and by far the most balanced team, ranking 2nd in the country in offense and 4th in defense. Florida can score the ball and get rebounds at an elite mark, ranking 3rd in the country in boards and points per game. Top 10 hopeful Asa Newell leads Georgia with 15 points and 7 rebounds per game. Gonzaga's top 10 offense is made possible with their nation-best 19.6 assists per game. Grand Canyon is one of the best teams in the country at getting to the free throw line, ranking 4th in the nation in makes per game. High Point has perhaps the best offense out of any mid-major, ranking 25th in offensive efficiency in KenPom and owning a top 5 shooting percentage nationally. Houston's defense continues to be dominant, this season holding its opponents to a remarkable 19 field goals made per game, good for 1st in the country. Illinois pairs a top 15 offense with the 2nd best rebounding effort in the country. Iowa State has been a lockdown defensive unit ever since TJ Otzelberger took over, this season finishing 9th in defensive efficiency and 8th in steals per game. Kansas enters the NCAA tournament 4th in assists per game and 11th in defensive efficiency. First-year head coach Mark Pope has moved Kentucky away from John Calipari's traditional lineup of freshmen, and the Wildcats produce the 4th most points per game in the country. Liberty leads the nation in effective field goal percentage and is 3rd best at defending the 3-point line, a sign of great coaching. Lipscomb is one of the best teams in the country at defending without fouling, ranking 3rd in fouls committed per game. Louisville loves to shoot 3-pointers, chucking up 20.5 per contest. Marquette is 7th in the nation and not turning the ball over, and Cam Jones is helping lead the way with 19 points and 6 assists per game. Maryland has the 6th most efficient defense in the country, and future lottery pick Derek Queen anchors the Terrapins down low. Under coach Will Wade, McNeese held opponents to just 64.1 points per game, good for 12th in the nation. Memphis has one of the best resumes in the country, having rattled off wins at Clemson, versus UConn, versus Ole Miss, and versus Missouri. Michigan has one of the most dynamic big man duos in the country with Danny Wolf and Vlad Golden. Michigan State does all the things a coach would love. They rank 8th in assists, 5th in free throw percentage, and 15th in defensive field goal percentage. Mississippi State is 10th in the country in steals, which helps them generate enough possessions to attempt the 14th most shot attempts per game. Missouri's 6th-ranked offense is greatly fueled by their ability to get to the free throw line. They're 2nd in the country in makes per game. Montana's offense was highly efficient this past season, finishing the season third in effective field goal percentage in the entire country. Mount St. Mary's has been one of the better defensive rebounding teams in the country, pulling down 25.5 per game. Donovan Dent is one of the leading scorers in the entire country, and he paces New Mexico with 20.6 points per game. Norfolk State shoots the ball at a 48.1% mark, just outside the top 25 nationally. When UNC almost rallied from a 24-point deficit against Duke, this wasn't a one-off thing. UNC is 19th in the nation in second-half points. Freshman superstar Jeremiah Fears has been on an offensive tear all season, averaging 17 points per game for Oklahoma. Ole Miss is second in the nation in not turning the ball over. Omaha dominated the glass in Summit League play, ranking 7th nationally in defensive rebounding rate. Oregon had an absolutely dominant out-of-conference season, peaking at number 9 in the AP poll, including wins over SEC foes Alabama and Texas A&M. Braden Smith is the best floor general in college basketball, and he accounts for 8.7 assists per game, which is second in the nation. Robert Morris ranks 16th in the nation in offensive rebounding rate. St. Francis is 3-1 in overtime games this season, proving their ability to perform in the clutch. St. Mary's likely is the best defensive mid-major in the country, holding opponents to a nationally fourth best 61.4 points per game. Elite defense got San Diego State all the way to the national championship game 2 seasons ago, and the Aztecs returned to the big dance with yet another top 15 defense. SIUE held opponents to just 47.5% shooting, a top 50 mark in the country. Rick Pitino in St. John's intense ball pressure has got the Red Storm with the number 1 defense in the country. Tennessee is the best team in the country at defending the three-point line, an essential quality for fighting off pesky, upset-minded opponents. Trey Johnson of Texas became just the 6th player ever to lead the SEC in scoring as a freshman. Texas A&M is perhaps the hardest playing team in the country, as they lead the nation in offensive rebounding despite being 253rd in height. Texas Tech is just very solid offensively, ranking top 15 in points, assists, and three-point percentage. Troy was a sound defensive unit all season long, ranking 27th in opponent points per game and 7th in steals per play. UC San Diego's 31 season likely would have gotten them into March even without a conference title, and this was made possible with their top 5 assisted turnover rate. UCLA forces turnovers at an elite rate, ranking 4th nationally in turnovers per play. 2-time defending national champions UConn bring perhaps the best coach in the sport with them in Dan Hurley. UNC Wilmington is one of the taller teams in the country and have a top 25 mark on second chance points. Utah State averages an elite 17.1 assists per game and has contributed greatly to their 17th ranked offense. Mark Byington went 32-4 and won a tournament game last season with James Madison and has got Vanderbilt dancing in his first season at the helm. VCU holds opponents to a nation's best 0.7 assist to turnover rate. John Tonje and John Blackwell make up one of the best duos in the country, as the two combine for 34 a night in Wisconsin's revamped offense. Xavier's season was on life support until they got hot at the right time and finished the year 8-1. Yale pulled an upset as a 13 seed last year against Auburn, and only got better this season, dominating on the glass. That'll do it for today. Please do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Until next time.